A very warm welcome to another episode of Today's Parent, where we connect you with experts and provide you with information to make your parenting journey a bit more easier. The other thing that we also endeavor to do is to showcase stories of parents, just like you and me, to see what we can learn from them. In today's episode, I have Beatrice Kariuki. Beatrice is the mother of Patricia, who has a challenge when it comes to hearing. We are going to hear more from her, and I hope after this story, you're going to be encouraged and inspired. Beatrice, a warm welcome to Today's Parent.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm okay.
Tell us about Patricia.
Okay, Patricia right now she's 8 years old. She was born with some challenges.
Okay.
When she was born, she had some deformity on her legs, her hands. So at the age of 1, she went under operation. She was amputated on her both legs. So now she uses prosthesis on her legs. Her hands were, her fingers didn't grow, all of them.
Okay.
At her right hand, she has 4 fingers. At her left hand, she has 2 fingers.
Right.
So at the age of like 1.5, that is when we realized that she couldn't hear.
Right. And take us back to your pregnancy. What kind of pregnancy did you have? Was it a smooth pregnancy, or did you have any challenges?
Okay, I didn't have a lot of challenges. The only thing that was, I had chicken pox when I was 2 months. So I went to the doctor. I was given some injection. So when she was born, I thought that the medication that I was given then was the result. But I can say it's God's plan. We cannot blame anyone. We can say it's God's plan.
Were you ever bitter?
I was very bitter, very angry, sad, because when you give birth to a physically challenged kid, sometimes you don't believe. I couldn't believe that she is physically challenged, because in our family there is no issues like that. I have never seen a disabled kid. I only see disabled people on the streets.
Yeah.
So it was not an easy thing. It was really hard to accept.
I can imagine. And when you used to go to hospital for your antenatal, did you ever have a scan done?
No.
Okay.
There was no scan done then, because I didn't have any problems with me.
And you never thought that this is, there was nothing to worry about?
I didn't have any worries. I thought it was like the other pregnancies. So
Patricia is not your only child?
Okay, I'm a mother of 3.
Wonderful.
So I have a boy, a girl, and then Patricia. So I thought it was like the other ones. So I didn't have any worries.
Okay. So 9 months sailed by and Patricia was born.
Yes.
What was your reaction at the hospital?
I was so startled. I was startled. I can't even. It was not and it was really a very bad experience.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
It was not an easy thing.
But what I like, when you talk about her, you really smile. She must be a source of joy for your family.
Yes, I thank God, because the fact that He has brought her, she has grown to be a very beautiful girl. I thank God, because even when she's attending school, she's a very bright kid. He is just like a normal kid. That's how we have raised her. All
right, let's just go back to she has been born, and the early years for her, with her deformed hands and the problem with her legs. At what age was she amputated?
At the age of 1 year.
1 year?
Yes.
So both legs were cut off?
Yes, I took her to Kijabe. When I gave birth to her, we waited for 1 week. We were advised that Kijabe is the best for bones. So that is where we took her at 1 week, when she 1 week old. We were told to come back when she is 1 year. That is when she will undergo that operation.
So you went to Kijabe, then you were told to go back after a year?
Yes.
So of course you went back after
1 year.
After 1 year?
Yes.
How long did she stay in the hospital for after the amputation?
Okay, we stayed like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes. We stayed there for like 2 weeks. And then we went back home, so we were just going for the dressing. And then, she got healed very quickly.
All right.
Yes.
So then you mentioned around 1 year, you realized that she had an issue with her hearing.
Yes.
How did you realize that?
Okay, she was about 1.5. That is when I realized that she can't even call you, she can't say anything.
So she was not speaking.
She was just murmuring, she couldn't say anything. That is when we were advised to take, when I took her to clinic, we were advised to go and see an ENT specialist. That is why when we went to Kenyatta, and we were sent to a test, audiology test. That is when the test said that she cannot hear. Her case was at the last, they count them, her case is profound.
Okay.
Profound is the last option.
Like it's severe.
She cannot, there is no help now. There is no way she can be helped to hear.
You're just coming from dealing with the fact that she has been amputated, and then now, a couple of years later, she has a problem with her hearing. Possibly, she will never get to hear. How did you deal with that?
It was so hard for me. It was so hard for me. So I can say I got over it through the help of friends and church members. They really helped me, because they would talk to me and tell me this is not the only child who cannot hear. They encouraged me.
Okay.
And that is when the time I came to accept the way she is. Because when you accept your situation, it becomes really easy for you.
Absolutely.
And you expose her to the world. You don't hide her, you just expose her. And that's why she has grown to be a beautiful girl. And she is loved by many. She has that favor of being loved.
That's wonderful.
Because she has grown them knowing her. That's how she is. So they don't see it as if it's something that has come now. So they know her from the word go.
Beatrice, just speaking of acceptance, you mentioned that you have 2 other children.
Yes.
How did your children take it? That they have, Patricia who's come along who doesn't look like them?
They would ask many questions like, when will her legs grow? When will her fingers grow? When she grow up, will they grow? It was not easy, because at first I couldn't let them see her.
Oh.
I stayed like 1 week without showing her how exactly she looks.
And you can imagine when you come from the hospital, kids are only so excited to see their brother or sister. And you couldn't show Patricia to them.
I stayed like 1 week without telling them how she looks, like even showing them. By the time I was bathing her, I would tell them to go and pray, or I will bathe her in the bedroom and close the door. I wouldn't let them see her, because I knew they would ask so many questions, which by that time I was not ready to answer.
Did you have a conversation with them before you introduced Patricia to them, after that 1 week? Or you just let them see her the way she is and try to explain?
I just let them see her, and then they started asking questions. I didn't. So I was answering the one I could, the one I couldn't, I wouldn't answer.
All right. I'm just wondering, was Patricia your typical toddler, loud and chaotic? How was she as a toddler?
She was not chaotic.
Just a gentle baby.
Yes. She was just a normal baby. You couldn't even realize there is issues with her. She was just a normal baby.
Actually, how was the experience for you, Beatrice, enrolling her in a school? I want to imagine how the conversation between you and the parents and the school teacher went. Did you explain at enrollment that she's deaf?
Okay, I took her to the school where her siblings were going. So
a normal school?
Yes, they knew, because they knew her from when she was born.
Yeah.
So I told them, I want her to come here instead of staying in the house. So she went, the teacher knew she couldn't hear.
Okay.
So she could teach her only the ones that she can write.
You did mention that she has 4 fingers, 3 fingers?
Okay, she has 4 fingers.
On the left?
On the left she has 2 fingers. And on the right she has 4 fingers.
Oh, so she's able to
write. Yes,
That's
she
wonderful.
Can write properly, like
That's
just
wonderful.
another normal kid. So sign language, when she attended that school, I found it that I'm wasting her time, because
from class 4 to from year 4 when she was 4 up to
She attended that school for only 1 year.
Oh, for 1 year?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was still looking for a school where she can go. So already a friend of mine, she had a friend who knew deaf people. So that lady is the one who directed us to the school which we first took her. And when she went to school, it was not easy because, as you know, she's physically challenged.
Yeah.
So
she's a double amputee.
Yes, and she cannot. She can't go. There are challenges for her when it comes to going to the toilet.
Yeah.
She can't squat like a normal kid, so she will need to find something to hold on. And when you take her to a public school, you can imagine the toilet.
That must be traumatizing.
The first time I went there, I was like, God, why this? And there is no other school near where you can take her. I didn't know another school.
Right.
So when I took her, I was really down. I didn't know what to do. But unfortunately, the teacher was really helping. She told me there is a toilet which the parents didn't want their kids to use because they refused to pay someone to wash. So I decided to pay someone to wash that toilet so that Patricia can use. So she had her own toilet. So that was
like a boss.
Yes, she had her own toilet.
That's wonderful.
She started there. At about 2 years, I found another school.
So when she's 2, at class 2 or?
When she was, now at deaf, when I took her, it was a public school. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of challenges when it comes to students who are abled differently at public school. They are not treated like other kids. There is a lot of challenges because you would find kids are running at the same classroom. Kids, playgroup classes, they are the same.
So they're not separated.
They are not separated. These kids are deaf. They are not like normal kids that teacher would stand in front and teach them.
Yeah.
The teacher would need to go to every kid and assist. So, in public school, it is really challenging.
I can imagine. Ms. Kariuki, when we come back from the break, Beatrice, you're going to share with us more challenges that you have faced and certainly a word of hope to a parent who's watching was a disabled child.
Okay.
Let's go on the break and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
In today's episode, we are having a conversation with Beatrice Kariuki, the mom of Patricia, a differently abled child who has issues with hearing, and she's also a double amputee, has gone through so much, but still is a lovely, lovely child. For any parent who's watching, I hope you've been encouraged so far. We are going to take a break right now and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to today's parent. In today's episode, we have Beatrice Kariuki, the mom of Patricia, who's differently abled with hearing issues, and she's also a double amputee. She's here to share Patricia's story and a word of encouragement to any parent who's watching who has a child who's disabled. Patricia, we are back from the break, and before we went on the break, we were talking about the challenges that you faced when you tried to enroll Patricia in school. What other challenge did you face? You mentioned about, for her, the toilet, getting a toilet that she could use was an issue. And then she's in class being taught with other abled students. That must have been very tough for her because you're in class and you can barely understand what the teacher is saying. And that must have been frustrating for you as well.
Mm-hmm. It is not easy to teach children with deafness.
Yeah, I'm sure it is not easy
It is not easy because at first they wouldn't even be given homework. We were told that they first need to know how to sign. How can she sign something that she cannot sign something that she doesn't know? No. She needs first to be taught so that she can be able to sign.
Absolutely.
She stayed there like 2 years, and there was no improvement because I was told she was in standard 1 and she couldn't even write her name properly.
Wow.
She couldn't even write 1 to 20 properly. So I started looking for another school. That is when I found a private school, Humble Hearts, and I have seen a lot of change. Now she can write her name properly. She can write 1 up to 100. She can copy her homework.
That's wonderful.
She has improved.
That's wonderful.
I can say that even though they discourage people to take kids to private school, there is a very big difference.
You have seen a very big difference.
Schools. Yes. Because in private school, the teacher is concentrating with the kid. Now,
so the attention is more for
the
sure.
attention is more.
The attention is more.
Yes, at the private school.
Does she like her school?
Yes, she likes her school very much. You know, she loves her teacher. She's called Teacher Irene. She has helped her. I can say she's a great lady.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. For your kids and for your entire family, have you guys had to learn? You did mention you've learned a bit of sign language. For her siblings to communicate with her, how do they do that?
Okay, for her siblings, I used to pay for tuitions for them when they cross school. I would pay the teacher and come and teach her. So there is no difficulty in communication. They would even help her in her homework. They talk, they understand each other.
Okay.
Yes.
You did mention now she's 8 years old, right?
Yes.
How do you discipline her?
You see, when I gave birth to her, I was advised, this kid, when she is young, start disciplining her when she is young. Because when you wait, she will become a very troublesome kid. And I have seen with other kids. So I started earlier. So she knows. She knows when mom is angry.
Mom is angry.
Yes.
There are consequences.
Yes. She knows because like there was this time, by that time I couldn't even pinch her. Because I used to
feel so much woye for her.
Yes. So when we were coming out of school, she loves sugarcane very much. So at that time at the gate of school, there was no that person who sells sugarcane. So we entered the car and I told her we'll buy her at home. When we were going, she saw the one who sells sugarcane with a mkokoteni. She said, they are there. I told her we cannot get out of car to go and buy a sugarcane. She started crying. She cried.
Like a proper tantrum.
Yes, she cried. Even the people, the one who are with us there, they started asking, is this kid sick? I would tell them, no. I was very angry. So when we went home, I disciplined her accordingly.
Oh, wow.
And from that time, she has never repeated that again. She knows.
When mom is serious, she's serious.
She's serious.
Do you get the other siblings telling you sometimes that they find that you give her more attention, or they totally understand?
No, because I've raised them equally. My kids are, they know they are equal.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
Beatrice, what struggles have you faced as a parent to Patricia? Having a child who's disabled. How has that been for you?
It was not easy. When you give birth to a disabled kid, some friends will leave you. When you go out with her, everyone would want to stay there staring at her like she's something else. Okay, it has not been easy when you cannot even leave her with someone. You cannot even employ a house girl.
That has been a challenge for you?
Yeah, it has been a challenge because I had a business. I had to close it so that I can take care of her. So it's not easy bringing up a physically challenged kid. But
now that she has gone to school, have you gone back to, she's gone to school, have you gone back to your business?
I've not gone yet, but I'm doing some cakes in the house.
That's
so
wonderful.
I'm not staying idle. But you see, where she's attending school right now, it's a little bit far.
Okay.
You have to take like 2 cars to reach there. So you can't employ a girl and stay. She can't go that far. She would go only for 1 day and then she'll tell you she's tired. She can't do it anymore. So I've dedicated my whole self to taking care of her.
God bless
I take her in the morning, I go for her in the evening. Yeah, that's what I do because that's what God gave me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And she sounds like a wonderful child.
She is.
She sounds like a wonderful child. You mentioned that when you're with her, there are people who stare, and then the stigma of losing friends. Any other challenges that you have faced? I can imagine also financially, it's not easy on your family.
Okay, especially financially, it's not easy because you know she's wearing prosthesis. Prosthesis are really expensive. We started at Kijabi, but you see, God knew her when she created her, and she has that favor. It's when she was fitting her that prosthesis, we were advised to go to APDK. There is a workshop
APDK?
there at the offices of people living with disability at Westlands.
Right.
So we were advised that there is a workshop there called Jaipur Foot, and they give food freely. So that's where we go.
Was it true?
Yes, from that time, that's where we go.
Wow.
They don't charge.
So at every stage when she outgrows her prosthesis, she gets new ones for absolutely free?
Yes, even when you want repairs, you just go for free.
Wow.
Yes, they give you.
I think this is information that a lot of parents are not aware of. Are there a lot of people there when you go? Do you find a lot of people?
You go, you first call to be given an appointment. There are a lot of people there.
Okay.
They come from far. You would find someone coming from Kakamega, coming from Machakos.
Right.
Yes, there are a lot of people there.
Does she struggle to walk with prosthesis, or now it's become a natural thing for her?
No, even when you see her, you can't realize that she's wearing
wonderful.
anything because she has grown with them. Now, you can't know. Yes.
Beatrice, for a parent who's watching right now feeling discouraged, what word of advice can you give them?
I would tell them to love their kids because these kids are gifts. And you don't know if God has given you to test you. So just bring up your kid with a lot of love. Because when you love them, they will grow loving themselves. But when you show them that they are not like normal kids, they will not accept, even themselves, they will not accept themselves. Mm-hmm. But when you start loving your kid from when she's young, mm-hmm. she will grow up loving herself. Because like my daughter, she can't realize she's disabled. She finds she knows she's just like the others. When you go to buy clothes, you buy for all of them. So she grows loving herself. So when you have a kid with a disability, expose her even to the society.
Right.
Because when she grows knowing that everybody knows me, she will not deny herself. She will grow accepting herself.
That's wonderful.
And that is good.
That's wonderful.
That
will be a very good thing.
The kid. Yes.
How about independence? How have you raised her? Just going back a bit, how have you raised her to be, independent?
Like I've said, it's good to bring her up like just a
just
normal
like
kid.
the rest.
When she wants to go out and pray, she goes. You don't just go and sit here and watch her what she's doing. She goes and come back. She's just like a normal kid. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The resources that have been very helpful to you when it comes to, handling Patricia's hearing issues, what resources have you tapped into? Are you part of Kenya Society of the Deaf? Do you have like a mama's group that you are part of for, just for support? Okay. What kind of support do you have?
I don't have any support, but for now, there was these groups that started at Gertrude's. It's called The Hub. There was a competition there at the month of September. Mm-hmm. That is when I joined that group.
Right.
And that is the reason why I'm here. Because if I was not in that group, I couldn't be here. So The Hub, I thank them. And I also thank the one who started that group. Because we are really encouraged.
What's the name of the group?
The Hub.
It's called The Hub.
The Hub.
It's called The Hub, right?
Language Hub, yes.
Or the Sign Language Hub.
At the Gertrude's Hospital, Children's Hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
Membership is free?
Yeah, we just joined. I was invited by a friend.
Okay.
Yes.
How often do you meet?
They started to meet. We usually like once in a month.
Or you meet once a month?
Yes.
At the hospital?
Yes, at the hospital, the Gertrude Hospital's Muthaiga.
Okay.
Yes.
As you're winding up, what dreams and aspirations do you have for Patricia?
Okay, like for now, I pray that she would grow like other kids. I pray that she would get education which is really difficult in our country. Deaf kids, we don't have enough schools for deaf kids in our country. Like in our area, we only have 2, and they are really far. So you can't work and support your kid.
Yeah.
So I have many expectations for her. I would like to see her growing up, being independent, being able to go to work. So I have a lot of expectations with her.
That's good.
Yes.
Do you think our government should do more?
Yes, we accept them to do more. Like giving, where there is these schools, they give us more teachers.
Yeah.
Because there is challenge. When you go to public school where there is a deaf unit, there is challenge with teachers. You will find that maybe there is two teachers and the kids are, it's not every parent could afford a private school.
Right.
And not every parent would afford to leave her work to go and take her kids to school.
Absolutely.
So we would urge the government to look at that part, to give us more teachers.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. I'm giving you another chance to share another word of encouragement as we wind up the show. Just one more. I have been touched by your story, and I'm sure for those who are watching, I'm sure they're very, very touched by your story as well. If there's anything that you feel like saying at this point as a word of encouragement, as your final word, feel free.
Okay, what I would say is, when you have a parent who has a disabled kid, try to support that parent. Because if you are a neighbor, try to be a good neighbor. Don't show that parent that she's not supposed to be there because she has a disabled kid. Just if you are a neighbor and you know any parent who has disabled kid, even if you know a school where that kid can attend, there are many challenges. There are these kids who has autism.
Yeah.
If you know any school, you can even try to research and help that parent, because sometimes there is this fear. You are afraid to go and ask, what will they think of me? Just try to support that parent, because
Right.
at my area I have seen a lot of support, and I can say even the acceptance that I have is because of the support that my neighbors give me, my friends give me.
That's good.
So if you are a neighbor parent, or if in your family you have a kid who is physically challenged, just try to support her. Yes.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Beatrice.
Thank you so much for your
We
time.
thank you so much for your time and wish Patricia
Thank you.
the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching today's episode of Today's Parent, where we hosted Beatrice Karaoke, the mother of Patricia, who's hearing impaired and also a double amputee. I hope you learned something from her story and you are totally encouraged. For any parent who has a child who's disabled, the one thing that she has mentioned that is of most importance is acceptance. Should you want us to connect you to Beatrice, please just send us an SMS and we'll find a way to connect you to her. Then she can connect you to the hub so you can get all the support that you need. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I have been your host, Christine Kasina. And if you're looking for parenting resources, go to www.supermamas.co.ke. We have been here in studio at Little Cribs, the home of fun, exciting, durable, and affordable kids furniture. Make sure you check them out if you're looking for kids furniture. Thank you so much for your time. See you next time.